Welcome to day 60 of our school year. We completed another group of 10 days there. Fill in another row. Okay, let's get down our beginning fraction. We have a total of 180 school days, and we are on day 60. So now what we want to think, is 60 prime or composite? Well, it's even, and the only even number that's prime is the number 2, so it is composite. And that means we have to do the prime factorization of both our denominator and our numerator. So let's see, this is even, so I could divide by 2. Half of 18 is 9, and then placeholder moves it over a place. Okay, 9 plus 0 is 9, so 3 is a factor. I can get 3 groups of 3 out of 9. That's 3 tens. So we put that placeholder in. I could do 3 again. I get 10. Okay, that is even, so I could divide by 2, and I get 5. 5 is prime, and we're done. 60, that's even, so I get 30. Let's see, I can divide that by 5, and I get 6. 6 is even, so I can divide by 2. I get 3. When I get to a prime number, I am done. So let's do our prime factorization for both our denominator and our numerator. We go from least to greatest. So I have 2 times 2 times 3 times 3 times 5. And then here, I have 2 times 2 times 3 times 5. So I have quite a few in common. So I have 2 times 2 times 3 right here, and then 5 here. So that means my greatest common factor, 2 times 2 is 4, times 3 is 12, times 5 is 60. My greatest common factor is 60. Since that's all the factors in the numerator, that leaves a 1 in the numerator, and then here I have a 3 in the denominator, 1/3. But let's prove it. Let's make our groups of 60. Keep your shaded separated from your unshaded, but your groups do not have to look like mine. It is easy going by the tens though. 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60. And then 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60. How many groups of 60 do we have? 1, 2, 3 groups. How many groups are shaded in of our groups of 60? There's 1 shaded in. 1/3 of the school year. But let's go ahead and prove it. I'm going to divide by our greatest common factor. I'm going to use our area model as our algorithm. Dividing 180 by 60 and 60 by 60. So if I didn't know what to do here, I could always just do one group because it's repeated subtraction. I want to try to take out the biggest amount of groups I can, but if I don't know anything bigger than 1, then I'll use 1. Numbers the same, 0's a game, more on top, no need to stop, more on top, no need to stop. Okay, again, I can take out one group of 60. Numbers the same, 0's a game. 12 take away 6 is 6. And then my last group of 60 I can take out. Numbers the same, 0's a game. 1, 2, 3. Okay, here 1 times 60 is 60. Numbers the same, 0's a game. So let's go ahead and check with our inverse operation. Divisor times quotient plus remainder, divisor times quotient plus remainder. Since our remainder for both is 0, and the identity property of addition says when you add 0 it stays the same, we don't need to actually add 0. What we have right here is the identity property of multiplication. When you multiply by 1, it stays the same. 3 groups of 0, 0. 3 groups of 6 tenths is 18 tenths. 60 matches our dividend here. 180 matches our dividend up here. So our numerator is definitely 1, and our denominator is definitely 3. Let's go ahead and fill in our data collection page. Okay, trimester 1, week 13. This is the very last day of our trimester. Today is 11/1/19, and our fraction for today is 1/3. And that's perfect because trimester, tri means 3. So we've completed 1 out of 3 sections of the year. So it's perfect that it's 1/3 on the last day of our trimester. We made groups of 60. So we have 3 equal groups of 60 days. So we got to find that first line, and that is 1/3. We will have an equivalent fraction in 30. 30 is a common factor in 20, in 15, in 12, in 10, in 5, in 6, in 5, in 4, in 3, and in 2. This one has lots and lots of equivalent fractions because there are lots of common factors in 60 and 180. But 60 was our greatest common factor. 1/3 is today. We have 2/3 of the school year left. Go ahead and put your number line away, erase your worksheet, and thank you for joining me.